Why do dreams occur, and is dreams related to karma, and is there a way I can avoid it?
Well, you're not having good ones. So we're talking about nightmares, not dreams. I will not go into the whole gamut of what dreams are. Actually, there are 4 types of dreams. One can have 4 different types of dreams. 90% of the dreams that people have are simply unfulfilled desires. Just unfulfilled desires, trying to find expression when you're in sleep. If people don't dream, a lot of them would be much more frustrated than they are right now, because dreams sort of satisfy their desiring process. Many things that they cannot do in their life, they will do in their dreams. Yes. So that's why the dream, the dream makers, the dream machines have become so popular. The cinema and television has become so popular because now you can just sit there popping the corn without doing anything. You can fall in love with somebody, you can fight, you can bash the whole Martians who come from somewhere You can do everything, still popping the corn. It gives you don't have to do anything with your life. So the dream machines are so popular because dream satisfies. Without living you can live. That's the significance of dream. Without any risk you can fall in love, without any risk you can fall out. If you do it in your life, all these things will cost. It'll cost life, But in the cinema, 3 hours you can fall in love and fall out. You can fight, have battles and works and come out without a scratch on your body. It gives you a free experience of life, but it's not life. There's a very big difference. So dreams are also just like that. Projection is just happening in your own mind, but it is the same thing. 90% of the dreams belong to this. But there are other kinds of dreams which could be giving you access to other aspects of life, which are rare. If I talk about it, you may start imagining everything about every little dream that you have, which is dangerous. So I would generally say, discount the dreams as just empty nonsense that's happening. If some dream is of a certain significance, anyway it'll manifest in a much more powerful way than just being a dream that you saw and you forgot. It'll anyway find much bigger manifestation instead of trying to read meanings into dreams, because once you enter that space, your imagination you can't control, it'll just fly off. Everything, every corner you will start seeing spirits and this and that and works. Anybody you see and you little attracted, you think, oh, I know them from their past life and this is happening to all the new age people. Every day on the street they're meeting their past life connections and all this, because you have no brakes on your imagination. Once you set it forth, it will just run. It'll simply run. So, it's best to be skeptical and say, okay, all this is just nonsense. If something is beyond the nonsense, it will anyway pursue you, it won't leave you. So, how to stop them? Why, make them nice. Can't you produce good movies? Free cinema. Why don't you enjoy it? But if you want to stop it, don't try to stop it. If you become meditative, dreams will disappear. If you bring a certain level of awareness into your life, dream will completely disappear. Psychologists don't believe this. They don't believe that one can live without a dream. I think Freud went to the extent of saying, you can live without sleep, but you can't live without a dream. Dream is so important, all the time it's on, REM. You know what's REM? Yeah. So, in sleep, this is all the time going on. Because these Freuds and Youngs and other people, they never get to study a yogi or a Buddha, they only study sick people. Yes? They study sick people and make conclusions about the whole humanity. And these conclusions are, there is a certain usefulness to it. At the same time, they are phenomenally wrong. They're phenomenally wrong. They're just taking away the other possibility of what a human being can be, saying that this is what a human being can be, nothing more, nothing less. This happened to Freud. One man came and his problem is he believes that he's dead. So, Freud being a father of psychoanalysis, he set up a treatment for him. Every day, he will stand in front of the mirror and go on saying, dead men don't bleed, dead men don't bleed, dead men don't bleed, dead men don't bleed. This is the mantra. Every day, minimum 3 hours, stand in front of the mirror and go on telling yourself, dead men do not bleed. So he did this for a few months, and when Freud felt the situation was right, he took a pin and pricked that man's finger. Blood came. What does it say now? He looked at it with joy and said, dead men do bleed. And Freud himself was so terrified of death. Do you know this? He was so terrified of death. It was his dream to see the Egyptian pyramids. Freud desperately wanted to see Egyptian pyramids. But he was so terrified of death, all his life he could never muster enough courage to go there. And this man makes the ultimate statement about humanity, okay? There is value to his study, I'm not trying to dismiss everything, but they should not make ultimate statements about humanity, that's only one face of humanity. Insanity is just one face of humanity, compulsiveness is just one face of humanity, that's not everything. There is a way of raising beyond all those things. If only Freud has a subject who could, suppose he found a yogi and studied him, then all his conclusions would have been very, very different. Today also these things are going, we never usually subject ourselves to these things, but this happened a few years ago. Out of some obligation I said, okay. They wanted to wire me and study what's happening with me.
Very interesting actually.
Huh?
It's very interesting.
Is it? Do you do that? So they wanted to study my gamma whatever. What is it? Gamma waves or rays? What is it? Waves. So they put up, I don't know, a dozen electrical connections and they said, you meditate. I said, okay. Then they shook me like this and I said, okay, what does your machine say? They said, by all parameters you're dead. So I've been diagnosed dead by the doctors, you better watch out. Either dead or brain dead, whichever way. So if you can be like this, you are fully alive, but you're dead. You're wide awake, but you're fast asleep. If you can be like this, then all this nonsense that they're talking is not relevant to you. And every human being can be like this. It is not far away. It's not happened because people have not looked in that direction at all, that's all. It is not difficult, it's not far away, it need not take a lifetime. It is just that people have never looked in that direction, they're all looking in a different direction. That's the only problem.
When I'm dreaming at night, it seems real to me. I couldn't differentiate if the people that exist in my dream, they seems very real. And I can talk to them, I can touch them, and events seem to happen too. So when I awake, I know that it's illusions. So is that the same thing for my life right now? How real is this life? Would it be possible when one day when I awake, all these are just illusion to me? All people is going to be gone.
The problem is you're reading bits and pieces of Zen. Okay? Bits and pieces of Zen are dangerous. Bits and pieces of anything is dangerous. Now, what you're saying is true in a way, because 99% of your life is just thought and emotion. Thought and emotion is just a projection of life, not life, isn't it? When 99% of the time you're only thinking about life, emotion is also a kind of thought, a juicier thought, isn't it? Thought is dry, emotion is juicy, but still a thought, isn't it? The way you think is the way you feel, isn't it so? Yes? Isn't it so? Now if you think, oh, this is a wonderful person, you'll have sweet emotions towards that person. Oh, this is a horrible person, you'll have nasty emotions towards that person. You can't think this is a wonderful person and have nasty emotions. You can't think this is a horrible person and have sweet emotions, isn't it so? Because the way you think is the way you feel. Thought and emotion are not different. They're the same thing, they're just thought. One is dry, another is juicy. Because it's juicy, it has a drag time, so you think they're different. So you can be thinking like this, today you can be thinking this is a very wonderful person, tomorrow morning he does something that you don't like, suddenly you can think he's a horrible guy. Your thought immediately takes a right angle turn. But emotion cannot turn so quick, it takes a long turn. It takes a few days or a month, but after some time it'll come and join the thought, isn't it so? Yes? It has a drag time. Emotion will not turn immediately, so you think they're different, they're not different. They are same, it is just thought, one is dry, another is juicy. So your whole life is just thought and emotion. So it is very much like a dream. It is. So, now that you were on to Zen, you must know about Chuang Tzu, who went about doing this. Chuang Tzu was a great Zen master. In his monastery he had many monks and he's a recognized master. One day morning, suddenly he's in great state of misery. So when they saw the master in misery, everybody got terrified. If the master is in misery, something really bad must have happened because always he's joyful and nice. So senior-most monks slowly approached him and asked, "Master, what is happening?" Said, "Don't you disturb me, I'm in a deep distress, get away." They said, "If you are in distress, that should be death for us. Please tell us what is causing distress to you." Then Chuang Tzu said, "Oh, yesterday night in my dream I was a butterfly." And the monk said, "What is wrong being a butterfly? We've been many things, sometimes we've been pigs, we've been birds, we've been many things. That is no problem, butterfly is quite good. What's wrong with the butterfly?" Said, "You idiots, you don't understand, when I was a butterfly, I actually flew. I went and sat on the flower, I could feel the flower, I could smell the flower, I could taste the flower, it was all real. Now I don't know whether I am Chuang Tzu dreaming to be a butterfly or am I a butterfly dreaming to be a Chuang Tzu, which is true, because both look equally vivid and real. When you live just on the thought process, this is how it is." He is using it as a method to shock his monks out of their stupor of spirituality, because people are reading sutras and this and that, they think what they read and what they think is spirituality. So he's trying to knock their psychological structure out so that they become existential. If you're experiencing life, not thought, not emotion, life, if you're experiencing life as such a question will not come. But when most of your life is just thought and emotion, it is very true, it is very much a dream, it's just another projection.
அல்லார்க்கும் வரமளித்த வாழ்வே என் சத்குருவே, கண்ணே கருத்தே கருத்திலுறும் நற்கனியே